The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 357. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal lady on the show today. She is a musician and a comedian, and I'm just really excited to have her on today and share her story with us. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Olivia Thai. Olivia, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Hey, hello listeners. How are you doing? I am very, very excited and honored to be part of your show, Sheena. Yeah, so I have been on social media since I could remember. I've always been fascinated with the internet. So I've been on social media since the MySpace days. And even before that, if we want to get into Friendster and Find a Pics, I've been on for a very long time. So now it's sort of gotten to a point where it's been over a decade of me doing social media and expressing whatever art form I'm into at the moment onto the internet and sharing it with many, many thousands of viewers.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. I know you have like 21 million views on YouTube.
Right. Yes, I do.
which is amazing. So congrats to that. And Olivia, what's your cultural background?
So my name is Olivia Thai, and I'm often mistaken for being from Thailand or of Thai descent, but I'm actually Chinese American. So that's my cultural background, but I was born and raised in California.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
I would say a self-confidence quote that I hear a lot from, I don't know where the source would be, but it is to be authentically yourself, and I guess the rest will follow.
Thanks for sharing that. And I love that, right? Because I think I believe what's missing in this world is just having authenticity, being your authentic self. You know, I know social media is a great way to get your message across, and it's also, social media also like makes us hide who we are sometimes when we see pictures on Instagram and Facebook, and you see people posting different pictures, and sometimes we compare ourselves to them. But, when we just learn to love ourselves for who we truly are and just learn to be more authentic, actually, people will gravitate to us even more because they can relate to us. So I really love that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I would define self-confidence as being truly, not just okay, but truly loving and embracing everything that you are as a human being. And I think that's really, really important. And honestly, I'm really on that journey myself. I've struggled with self-confidence issues, and I still do. And I think in a way we all kind of do, right? Throughout different stages of our lives, where we're, as a child, you're struggling with self-confidence in other ways, and then in your teens, you're struggling with self-confidence in other ways, and then now I'm in my late 20s and I'm still struggling with self-confidence, but in a different way than I was struggling with it when I was younger. And I'm sure that it's going to be a continuous cycle until I guess figure it out. But yeah, to fully embrace myself and not be ashamed of, I guess, who I really am and what I like to do, and how I react to things. And, again, back to that authenticity and being genuine about who I am. And that's hard to do, especially, with an audience watching me a lot of times too. So, really just fully embracing who I am and loving who I am as a whole.
Thanks for sharing that. And, it's so true, right? We got to love ourselves for who we truly are. And that includes the mistakes that we make, our flaws, our struggles. It's all a part of us because it creates us, it helps us become the person that we are, become the stronger person. Because like you mentioned, right, different stages, there's different kinds of self-confidence, there's different levels of that. And the more that we overcome these obstacles, the better we can be and know what we're capable of and know who we truly are. So thanks for sharing that great definition. And, Olivia, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Well, again, I'm still sort of on that path to discover this self-confidence. I think it's there, but it could be more there. It could be more present. But before I guess became aware of it, it was just such a dark time for me. It was a time when I really felt like it didn't matter what goals I had achieved. It was never enough. And just feeling like I was never enough. And I still have those moments now, but not as much, of course. But, just growing up in an environment where I never felt like I was enough was really, really quite a struggle. And I think that's been a big part of it, is just, again, accepting that whatever we've done is already what we've done, and we can't go back and change anything. And to be proud, to be proud of myself for the things that I've accomplished, instead of wondering how I could have done it better or why I didn't do it better. And sort of in this living in the past, I guess, is where that used to be. And now I just, keep moving forward.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something we all can relate to, right? Especially, growing up as a Asian woman, I always felt like I was never enough. I always thought, like, what can I offer to the world? There's so many people out there who's doing what I want to do. What's the point? And we all do that, right? We all have these like crazy things in our head, or when we make a mistake, it's like we focus on that mistake to the point where like we forgot why we even, focused on it in the first place. And, this is something that we all deal with, and we can overcome it for sure. And, what was that point in your life when you realized you were more than enough, like you were worthy to go out there and do the things that you love? And what was that aha moment in your life?
Well, for me, I always grew up in an environment where it was very education based. I started college when I was really, really young. And so I think my family had an expectation for me to do something grand in the academic world, very academic, as many Asian families would promote. It was always sort of in that path. And then later I discovered, and I was so young, I didn't know if that's what I wanted. It just so happened that I was, I guess, good at it. So that's what happened. And then I discovered my passion and love for the arts, for music, for writing. And I sort of explored that and took that leap. And instead of going to an Ivy League and becoming a world influencer through academia, I became a college dropout who is doing music and comedy on the internet. So, and am I, 100 times happier than I would have been if I went in that direction? I think yes. And I think ultimately that's really what matters. Not so much that I went to Yale or Harvard, or I, am winning a Nobel Prize. It's more about how I'm affecting, or I guess influencing the world in a positive way through my art.
Thanks for sharing that. And it's still great that you are still influencing people in a positive way from doing what, through doing what you love, right? Because there are so many people out there who do things and they're not really in love with it. They just do it either for safety, or they're told what to do, or they're not really sure what they want to do. But, you found your passion and you dove into it. Even if I'm sure when you told your parents you weren't going to go to an Ivy League school and decided to become a musician and a comedian, they were probably like, "Are you insane?" Like,
oh yeah,
my parents did the same. They thought I was nuts, because like any, Asian family, it's like go to school, get a job, and get a good job, and never like rock the boat, right? Work till you're like 60. And, even like with relatives, they love to compare each other's kids. It's like, oh, so-and-so got a first medal, or so-and-so is a valedictorian. And it really, it's great. Nothing's wrong with that. But in the end, like if you don't love what you do, of course, you're going to be miserable. You're going to get lost and you're not going to figure out who you are. And, I'm glad you're able to find it and just went ahead with it regardless of what happens. And, to any woman who's in the similar journey to self-confidence, what would be that one tip you would give to them?
I would say if you're going through that, ask yourself the question of, if I were to do this for, I don't know, if you want to make it, the rest of your life, you can do that. But make it small. Make it like, if I'm going to do this for another 10 years, to me, that's small, apparently. So if I do this for another 10 years, will I be happy? Do I go home happy after I've done whatever I'm doing, whatever job I'm doing. And if I'm not, what does? What is going to be, what will make my life worth living? What am I basic? It's a deep question, but it's an important question because I think what we do every day affects our lives, right? So I feel like if you ask yourself those questions on a daily basis and ask what serves you to serve other people, it's a great question to start with instead of ending with.
Thanks for sharing that. And, that really is a great tip because I think a lot of people forget that, all the answers are within us and it's all about just asking the right questions, right? Like you mentioned,
Right.
like, is this going to make me happy for the rest of my life or in 10 years? And if it's no, then, what will make me happy? What will I do that will make me like genuinely happy? And like the universe will show you signs, to show you like this is maybe what you're meant to do, or maybe it's this route, right? But I know asking the right questions will always lead you to that path. So thanks for sharing that. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Sure. My website is oliviathai.com, and Thai is spelled like Thailand, Thai food, pad Thai. but I'm not Thai, I'm Chinese. But I'm just Olivia Thai on YouTube. I'm Olivia Thai on Facebook. I'm kind of everywhere. So find me, and I would love to connect with everybody who's here.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Olivia, you can also head on over to thetaoofselfconfidence.com and search for Olivia's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I just want to thank Olivia for taking the time to share her story with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Olivia.
Thank you, Sheena. It's been great. Thank you.
Not a problem. It was an honor having you on the show. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com to check out cool resources, blog articles, show recaps, and so much more. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.